In this video, I'm going to show you how to add SmartArt, WordArt, and graphs to your images in PowerPoint. So I'm Rebecca Livermore, the Office Creative. First, I'm going to start with a new slide, and I'm going to make it blank. Now, you'll go up to the Insert tab. You'll notice that you have SmartArt and Charts here. And so we'll look at those first. So let's look at what SmartArt does. Okay, now SmartArt is great if you're wanting to create a graphic that illustrates some type of process, like a workflow. And you'll notice here that there's a list. So for example, if you were wanting to create a graphic that had list or a process, let's say that you were wanting to show a workflow, you might use this process one, or a cycle. Okay, so let's just pick one. And we'll just add that in there. And you'll notice that it has everything built in already. Where you're going to type your text, it has the arrows and so on. So it's already nicely laid out for you. And then up here in the Design tab, you have where you can change colors. So you can make it more colorful. You can make it to where they're not all filled in, and so on. So you would just kind of play around and see which one that you like. Now notice that there's also different styles here, even within the same color. So you just kind of click around on them, like this one has kind of a beveled look to it. This one is kind of beveled, but also a little bit gradient, and so on. So let's look at that one. And you can just see how you can very easily create a graphic that illustrates a particular process using this SmartArt. So again, that's on the Insert tab, SmartArt, and you have several different options that you can choose from: pyramids, pictures, and matrix, and so on. So this is a really great way to do it. Okay, now let's take a look at charts. Charts are great to do if you are, for example, creating an infographic, or you have a blog post where you're reporting on some type of data. You might want to create an image with a chart of some sort. And you'll notice that there's all different types of charts available. And so you would just kind of poke around and see which one would best fit what you're wanting to do. So I'm going to just start with a pie chart, and I'm click on OK. And this works together with Excel. So let's say first quarter, your sales were 8.2, second 3.2, and so on. Let's change this to 5.2 and 5.2. And you'll see how that impacts the chart. So you put your information in the spreadsheet and it impacts the chart. Now, is typically the case, you do have design options where you can select different styles of the same type of chart, and you can also change the color. So let's say I wanted to go, instead of with this color scheme, I wanted to go with this one, and so on. So that's how you create graphs. Now let's go ahead and look at WordArt. Now WordArt is basically a different style of font that's a little bit more dramatic, and sometimes you want a font that's more dramatic on your images rather than just using a standard Microsoft font. So I'm just going to click on Insert WordArt. So you would pick your WordArt style. So for example, let's say that I want this one, and you just type your text here. You can highlight it and make it bigger, like so. You can also use these little font icons here to make it go bigger. You just kind of keep clicking, or this one to make it go smaller. Now, if you want to customize your text beyond what it is right there, you would just click on it, and then up at the drawing tools, click on Format, and you can use the text effect options. So for example, you can do shadows, reflections, glow, bevel, rotation, and transform. Now transform is kind of interesting because let's say that you wanted your text to be in a circle or a half circle. You would simply go to transform and click on it and it would make it go that way. And you can just kind of play around with these different options to find one that works for you. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I'd really appreciate it if you'd like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And don't forget to click on the little bell icon so you'll get notified whenever I put out new content. Thanks so much and happy creating!